Senator Scott.
Good morning. First off, you're well qualified. You're going to do a great job. I was very impressed with our meeting. The Department of War recently notified some European countries that military support under Section 333 will be phased down with the expectation that these nations and our NATO allies will step up their efforts. Now, we all know these are not unilateral or overnight decisions. They must first be approved by the Secretary of State and approved by Congress. Can you speak to how you would advise Pentagon leadership on where and why Section 333 funding is needed and how this funding provides a return on American tax dollars, or do you completely agree that we ought to completely phase it out?
I would look less, if confirmed, I would look less at the code and I would look more at what the effect of that code is and is it covered by something else, and strike a balance between removing something and the requirement to make sure that it is covered, Senator.
Do you feel comfortable our European allies are starting to step up?
I think we're seeing, whether it's from defense spending and with 5% commitment from most of them, I think they are. From a military standpoint, I will tell you, I think they are.
Yeah. So I think it was in March, I traveled to Denmark, Estonia, and Finland, and all three of those countries for sure are stepping up. Finland has been doing it for a long time, as we all know. They've got a pretty over 1,000-mile border with Russia, and they've always been ready. And I think they told me almost 20% of their entire population would be ready to mobilize within days if there was an invasion across their border. So one of the things they complained about, though, was our foreign military sales program. Number one, they don't understand why it takes so long to get a decision. And then number two, even after the decision's made, they're still struggling to get the equipment from American manufacturers. Can you talk about what you could do in this role to improve the military sales process and help our manufacturers get more produced and get it over to our allies when they want to buy something?
Senator, I'm not directly, should I be confirmed as a vice, I wouldn't be directly involved with FMS. But what you key on, I think a big part of the sclerotic system that you describe in FMS is the defense industrial base and the ability to produce at speed. So to the extent that I can influence the relationship of our requirements acquisition with the defense industrial base, I will do that.
So do you feel comfortable that we shouldn't rely on China for any military supplies?
I don't believe that we should rely on China or bankroll China by buying things of a military nature.
So what do you think about the Department of War buying a significant portion of the drugs from China?
I'm not familiar with that, Senator, but as a concept,
off the top of your head,
it's not a good idea.
Yeah. So do you think our Wall Street should be continuing to fund companies that help the Chinese build their military?
I don't believe that we should engage in activities that bankroll the PLA or bankroll systems that we'll find on the front in Ukraine or that we'll find in UAVs out of Iran or that we'll find north of the DMZ in North Korea.
Yeah. So any reliance we have on Chinese equipment, whether it's our ports or whether it's our computer systems, whether it's our communications infrastructure, you'd think we probably ought to walk away from Chinese producers, right?
I think we should assess the risk and then make the appropriate adjustments. Yes, Senator.
All right. Thank you. You're going to do a great job.